Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we should be live. We got brand new branding here, guys. Should I try to check this out? You ready for this? This is a surprise for you guys here. Let's see if this works. Does this work? Look,
Ooh,
look at
pretty.
that
Nice.
Wow, very nice.
branding. There's the 8:30 alarm. Hey guys, what's up? Although I don't know what happens if I do this. Let's see, just out of curiosity. Like, oh no!
What about the scroll with the numbers, the phone number?
Try the banners. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see the ticker. Oh,
There you
ticker
go.
works.
That works. Okay.
Yeah, new branding, and it's even cooler when we have a 3. Nick's here, so we
I'll drop out.
Nick, you got to go.
Oh, there goes the show.
Oh, there's Chad.
Oh, very nice.
Wait, Chad, drop out real quick. Chad, drop out real quick.
Huh?
Drop out real quick, Chad.
I'd-
Watch. Look, here's the 3. Hold on. Look. Oh, yes.
That's
Oh,
cool.
nice.
How nice that looks. You like that? All right, Chad, come back. I even have this too for when things happen and go nightmares.
Wow, you've been busy.
For fans.
Don't you work?
Yeah. No, I paid for somebody. I paid for this. I didn't. I paid for
Our patrons paid for this. Thank you, patrons.
Yes. Thank you.
So yes. All right, here we go. You ready, guys? I'm sorry, I'm leaving back my comments here. Okay, here we go. The quick sound check, because everything's all screwed up. Sound check me.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. How's my audio levels?
Jesse, let me hear you.
Hey, I'm here.
Okay. How do I sound? Everybody, do I sound okay? Do I sound low?
Yes. Sound good.
Normal.
I sound good? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
You wanna know how to find it. Seek it out when they hide it. You know it's in the bag when it's an easy grab. But come on, take a chance now. So go, geocache, geocache. And if you need help, we're right there in a flash. If you got a question, just call in and ask. Uncover the stash on the Geocaching Podcast. The Geocaching Podcast.
Welcome, everyone. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30, which means that it is once again time for the Geocaching Podcast. My name is Scott Burks. We have Shorty Nits manning the phones, and please welcome to my virtual left, my co-host, Chaz 427.
Howdy, y'all. If you're into waymarking, do we have a show for you tonight?
That's right, guys, because tonight's show is episode 683, recorded live on September 15th, 2021, and it is the Waymarking discussion with our good friend, Nic Hubbard. Hey, Nick. How you doing?
Hey, thank you for having me.
All lines are open. So give us a call, 808-468-7924. It's 808-GOT-SWAG. And for you international callers, you can call us free via the web at collinstudio.com/show/GCPC. But first, hi, Nick.
Howdy.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
You're one of my favorite people. How you
Oh,
doing?
thank you. We should hang out more.
We should. We really, really should. Before we get to the show, guys, we got to talk about Patreon, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about this. Even Nick knows.
Yes.
It costs a lot of money to make things work.
Yes.
It really, really does. And it helps when you guys look at this beautiful little overlay here that we have going here. We appreciate it very much. And guys, 2 ways you can help us out. You can go to Patreon. No, you can go to paypal.com. That's PAYPAL.me/the Geocaching Podcast and make a one-time donation. Or Chad, you can go to Patreon. Patreon, Chad, you get extra audio, extra video, only available to our Patreon members. You get path tags, stickers, geocoins, all this stuff depending on the tiers. Jesse, how many videos do we have in the queue right now? I just showed Jesse.
Too many to count.
Oh, videos every Saturday for weeks is what we have.
Scott's
I
been
just-
busy.
I just edited our Utah trip. Jesse just saw. Just edited the Utah trip. I still got days. We still have a whole nother. I think this Saturday, I think, spoiler alert, is called Jesse versus the multi-cache.
Yeah.
I think that's this Saturday.
Well, last weekend was the bunch of gadget caches.
Yeah, that was day one of West Bend. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
day
looked nice.
2 is next week. No, 2 weeks from today. Yeah. So, guys, you want to become a patron, see all this good stuff. Also, tonight, just a little after this show is done, after the show is over, and y'all are getting ready to go to bed, we're going to keep going. We're going to lock back in, and Nic is going to talk about Cashly 7.0 only for patrons, audio only for patrons. So looking forward to that as well. Patrons, you got Nic coming in your ears tomorrow for 7.0 only for patrons. So anything you guys want to help out, we appreciate it. Anything you can. It's patreon.com. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast.
Promotional
There we go.
consideration paid for by the following.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Cashly. Cashly is an advanced geocaching app for iOS. It features powerful online and offline features, including filtered searches, offline maps, and offline saving of caches. Cashly has hundreds of advanced features that will make your geocaching experience just that much better. Get more info at cashly.com. That's CACHLY.com.
And tonight we're sponsored by Logwork. Logwork are the creators of the fantastic logbook made with genuine write-in-the-rain paper. The logbook designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who would rather go cache than do cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
It's also brought to you by FTF Geocacher Magazine. FTF Geocacher is the magazine for geocachers written by geocachers. With 6 issues a year, FTF offers practical advice, hints and tips, cacher bios and milestones, geocaching events, trail tales, and all things geo-related. Find them at ftfgeocacher.com.
And by the Maxsuds Body Company. Maxsuds Body Company makes handmade bath and body products from all natural oils and butters. Items such as Poison Be Gone soap, itch spray, and 2-cent choices of bug spray are all great for outdoor enthusiasts like geocachers. At Maxsuds Body, we have you covered from head to toe. Find them at maxsudsbody.com. That's MACSUDSBODY.com.
And by Practical Geocaching. Practical Geocaching sells utility items for geocaching. Our items are made in the USA, and we always provide free shipping. Find them at practicalgeocaching.com. That's PRACTICAL geocaching.com.
And by Arted Crafted. Arted Crafted creates unique geocaching themed tees and custom designs for you or your geocaching group, with adult sizes ranging from small to 5XL. If you have an idea for a shirt design and you can't find it, you've come to the right place. Please give us the opportunity to show you how we can enhance your caching experience with your own custom design. Visit them at artedcrafted.com. That's ARTEDCRAFTED.com.
And finally, by pattags.com for all your swag and pattag needs. Visit our website to get creative help, to trade or log tags, or to purchase your own personalized pattag. With over 42,000 tags to collect, pattags.com is everything you need to start your pattag obsession. Visit them at pattags.com. That's PATHTAGS.com.
And as always, Chad, you can find links to our sponsors on our website or
in our show notes.
I mean, we should have had Nic read the Cashly one. We didn't even think of that.
Next time.
Nic,
He might bumble it. I
Nick,
don't know.
you
I
had
don't
so
think he
much-
knows it.
I probably
You-
would.
you've added so much to Cashly. I think this needs to be updated.
Yeah, we should do that.
So much has been added to your app, which is, I said hello, guys, to Nic, and I said, bravo on 7.0. We're not talking
Thank
about it tonight. We'll talk about it on Patreon, but bravo to 7.0. We applaud it. Well done.
Thank you.
I'll give you the official one. Tremendous update. Seriously, tremendous update.
Thank you.
News wise, guys, we got to talk
Mhm.
about some news first. So, Chad, apparently there's a Halloween mission with the
Is there?
GeoCharmer 81. The Halloween
Awesome.
mission, the GeoCoin swap. Jesse's not listening to it. She's going to be pissed because I know she's going to want to hear about this. We have a link in our show notes, guys. So you got to go to our show notes on our website, geocachingpodcast.com, if you want to join the Halloween mission. It's the Halloween mission. You know, Chad, we did this, last 2 years ago, or was it last year? The Christmas one?
We did the Christmas one last year, or in the year before. No, last year, and we also did Easter, or at least I did Easter as well. Mission.
Right. Oh, I didn't do the Easter one. No, I did the Christmas one. Yeah. So there's a Halloween coming. Jess, hey Jess. You're on mute, by the way. I just said there's a Halloween mission GeoCoin swap up.
Okay.
So I don't know. I figured you'd want to know because you love doing stuff like that. So
I know. And every time I always say, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do it. And then I never get around to it because I'm the worst procrastinator. And then like the day after the deadline, I'm like, oh, I forgot to do
it's
it.
literally a link in the show notes. Do it right now. Go sign up. Click the link and sign up.
Okay. Maybe. It means I have to actually go through with it. Then.
I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. Because we don't have 100 coins like in a
I
bag.
know. We do have quite a few.
Also, the listener update, the listener race update. Jesse, where was mine again? Where is mine? You know where mine is. Oh, no, that's not the listener one.
That's not the listener race.
The host one. Mine. So Nick,
Yours.
I'm going to tell Nick. So Nick,
Yes.
we're having a race. All three of us. We started at Chad's. The race is to get to my. I have a geocache on my front porch. The race is who can get to my front. I said mine. Me and Jesse. Ours. Excuse me. Our front porch. We own this house together. Who can get to the front porch the fastest? Okay. Mine went right by my house. 8 miles.
8 miles.
Really?
It,
8 miles away.
it got dipped into a cache.
It
8
got
miles.
dipped 8 miles and kept going.
That's frustrating.
8 miles, Nick.
Maybe the person has no clue about your goal.
Is that frustrating?
Well, he has 20 fines now altogether. 20.
Oh,
I'm dead.
But he like took pictures of it and stuff and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep this travel bug moving."
And he didn't even look and see where it needs to go.
Oh.
Where's it now? Where am I now? Just out of
Same
curiosity.
place. You're still in Wisconsin. Well,
So-
you're in that guy's hands.
Okay.
mine's been sitting about 2.5 hours south of Chicago, in Indiana, off of I-65 there.
Jesse's
Uh,
called. I'm gonna call
for
Jesse, by the way.
since
You what?
July.
Since July, yours has been sitting in Indiana.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jesse's
And this-
making plans to somebody to go get hers. She's making
I didn't
hike cash for hiker cat. Was it hike cash?
Hike
repeat?
cash repeat.
She's cheating. Jesse's trying to set up.
I
a
did
deal here.
nothing. I
Yeah,
did
right.
nothing.
Yeah, you're under the table shenanigans that you're doing.
Mhm.
I did
Mhm.
nothing.
It's like slowly making
I
it's
can't help
underground
it.
railroading to hike cash repeat so she can get it closer to us.
I can't help it that I just happen to know people who live near-ish, sort of, kind of, by where mine is.
This is why we can't have nice things, Nick. This is why.
True.
That's right.
Okay. The listener travel bug race. We also have that going on. Top 10 here. Number 1, gingerbread geocache tag, 18,000. Beaver Bob 17.6. He's catching right up there. Blaze on Signal 16.2. Lily Lou's Racing Frog at 13. Racer Tongue 8 at 13. These boots are made for cashing at 7,500. Holly the Fuggler 7,500 as well. Right on the tail of these boots. I met Signal Tag 20 years, 7,000. Idaho Dasher 6,000, and G&TF GCPC Bunny Squeaker at 5,400. They're new. That's a new name. Never heard that one before. The G&TF GCPC Bunny Squeaker. So keep going, guys. All right, that's all the news I got. So Nick, you're up, kid. We're talking about Waymarkly. Guys, you got a question for Nick, you give us a call, 808-468-7924, 808-GOT-SWAG. You could talk to Nick firsthand. You want to thank him. For anybody, so Nick, let's talk about Waymarkly. We know you we know you are the creator of Cashly. We all love Cashly. God bless. You're a sponsor of our show. We love you. But aside from Cashly,
Yes.
you snuck in Waymarkly. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the beginning, how it started, where it comes from. Tell us the whole story. Let's start from the very beginning.
Okay. So probably 3 years ago, like every summer, before COVID, I would go up to Seattle because I live in Washington, just like 2 hours south of Seattle. I would go up to HQ, and we would like have a meeting, have lunch, and stuff like that. So sometimes I would talk to Brian, sometimes I would talk to Annie, people that I work with in Geocaching HQ, and often Sean Boots was there. If you guys know who that is, he's one of the guys that works there, is kind of in charge of like all the technical stuff, website, the API, the developers, all that kind of stuff. And he was one of the people that I think developed Waymarking and even developed the website. And he loved Waymarking. And he said, "Oh yeah, geocaching actually used to be a category of Waymarking when it first started." And he was telling me about this Waymarking thing, and I hadn't really heard of it. I said, "That's pretty cool. Is there a API? Maybe we could make an app for it." And he's like, "Yeah, there's an API, but it's not finished yet." And so, I'd go back every summer and ask him again, and I would see him at events and stuff, be like, "Hey, how's that API going?" And finally, it got finished and got to be, got API keys and could actually connect to it, get, results from the database and start building an app out. So once I had that, I already had Cashly, which is, the framework for the entire Waymarkly app. I was basically able to duplicate a lot of the code and bring over a lot of the powerful features that Cachly had, and hook it up to the new API. It's a lot more complicated than it sounds, but and essentially you get the same user experience as you do with Cachly. So many things are familiar, and so you are just you are looking at waymarks. It's a different game. I think there's 900,000 of them across the world. It's for interesting places. Sometimes there's silly things on there like McDonald's and Starbucks, but you can filter those out. But there is some really cool things about it that when I was building it and I was testing it, there was places in my local area that were like historical or of like interest, and I was like, hey, I never even knew about these places. And Waymarking like showed me these cool places in my local area. So it is a really cool thing. It's different than geocaching. It's not you don't find a physical container. You just log that you visited a place, and you always have to submit a photo. But yeah, it's a fun thing, and a lot of the other geocachers that have done it, they're geocaching and waymarking at the same time. So it's kind of like you can kind of do the same thing at the same time, or the two things at the same time. So that is how it kind of got started. So it's a couple years in the making from geocaching's end and my end too. So
is there any other app for that, or are you the only one?
It's the only one.
So I'm just curious why they created an API for it.
Well, I had asked for it. I guess I'm not so special that they would create it just for me, but I think that they probably saw a potential this game getting more popular. So there was potential for it to grow and increase, and maybe they could get more premium users and things like that to geocaching. So yeah, I think there could be like Android versions and things like that. I'm not developing one, but it's not like it's close to other developers. So
you're not. So there is no. Just for the record, because before we get a phone call, you're not creating an Android version. Yeah, you are not creating an Android version.
That would be pretty bad of me if I created an Android version of Waymarkly and not one for Cachly.
Yeah, you'd have your head would be rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think people would be happy about that.
Okay. Chad got an iPhone just for Cachly, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I was given an iPhone, and I use it just for Cachly. So
awesome. That is great.
Great app.
Thank you for doing that. If you don't have the premium offline maps, just let me know, and I'll send you a promo code for those, because I think
look at him just giving away premium maps. For the record, I had to pay for it, Chad.
I'll send you your $3.
No, happily paid for it. Trust me, you don't get paid enough for it. So let's talk Waymarkly. Let's talk about the app. So, yes. and what's one of the things I loved about it, and like you said, I admit I'm not a waymarker, so I bought the app 4 to 5 days ago, and I'm messing around with it. And the beauty of it is that I was completely comfortable with it right from the start, because I use Cachly. And you're right, it's the same framework as Cachly. It's almost identical, and so it's really nice. So you could literally pick it up and just start using it, which is really kind of nice.
And that was the goal, so that I could have users come over from Cachly, and I've always tried to make Cachly to have an intuitive interface, and so I obviously wanted to bring that over to Waymarkly as well. So,
okay, so let's talk about what you can do with it.
Okay,
let's talk about some of the features you got with it.
Yeah, so I mean, initially, there's 900,000 waymarks, so there's got to be waymarks probably around everybody almost. I mean, I was surprised by how many were around me. And obviously you can see your profile, you can see your stats, how many you've visited, how many you've placed or hidden. You can log your visits. So obviously, just like Cachly, if you go to some place and you want to log your visit, you tap on it, you tap log this waymark, snap a photo of yourself there. And there's always specific logging requirements for different categories. So say you're doing one that's like a historical, or something like a cave or something. There's always different requirements. So it might not just be a photo. It might be a photo with like the sign next to the cave or something like that. So when you pop up the log screen, it actually will load the requirements for that category.
I did.
So
Yeah, I can see why you can't.
yeah. So you need to make sure to follow those, or if you log that visit, the owner of it might delete your visit because you haven't followed the rules. So that's one thing, is you got to be careful because they're always different based on the categories, and there's like thousands of categories. So that's kind of one part of it. And then obviously there's really powerful offline support. So there's saving of waymarks offline, just like Cachly. So you can create offline lists and then filter those based on a lot of different filters that we have, kind of like Cachly. And then there's also the premium offline maps, which are in Cachly and Waymarkly, and they're actually shared between the two. So if you've purchased them in Cachly, you don't have to buy them again. So hopefully that's nice for users. One app will know that the other app purchased it, and then it will just show up. And so it actually uses a shared storage. So you're not like downloading things twice. If you download it in Cachly and you say download like the Washington State map, that'll then be in Waymarkly like automatically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
So that's nice for offline stuff. And
let me
again,
show
you
it
can
really quickly
yeah,
here.
show me.
Let's see if I can see it. Hold on, sorry guys. Oh, it's not picking it up. There you go. So
There
you
we
can see the instructions right there. So you can see this is the page,
Yes.
and at the bottom of it, it says view instructions. It tells you exactly what you need to do, which is kind of nice that you give the instructions right there on the page to make sure.
And those are pulled from the API. So again, each category that a waymark is in will have different requirements. Often it is just a photo, but sometimes it's more involved.
Is there an option to take a photo in here?
Yeah, it's just like Cachly. When you go to write the message, then there's like a plus button to take a photo or to upload a photo. So
that's smart, very smart. Somebody wants to know how is Waymark
and then
different
from geocaching?
No, how is Waymarking different from
question?
a virtual? Somebody asked,
virtual?
how is yes.
Well, I mean, it's a totally different game. You're not logging anything on geocaching, but I guess essentially they are similar.
It is pretty similar. Yes. It's like
very, very similar.
Okay. Sorry.
So,
Continue.
Yeah.
I apologize.
And then another thing that like is a big feature in waymarking is categories. It's all like people, they want to create their waymarks in categories, and sometimes they create the same waymark in multiple categories if it like fits into those categories. So something could be like a historical place, but it could also be like something that has like something else at the location that could fit into another category. And so you can actually browse the categories within Waymarkly. So at the bottom there's a tab of categories, and it's kind of fun to browse them because you can find kind of cool categories and then find your waymarks that way. Instead of just browsing the map and getting a lot of clutter, you can browse the categories. So, and then there's also sorting options within those categories. You could sort by closest to you, furthest away from you. You could sort by name. You could sort by different attributes of the waymarks. So it's just another way to find different waymarks that you're interested in. So, yeah.
I'm sure this is a no, but I'm going to ask this anyway.
Okay.
Because you have both APIs, Cachly and Waymark. What's the odds on getting the waymarks onto the Cachly?
I had thought about that, but I really felt like they needed to be separate. It was too much stuff was different, and it would really make a bloated app to like integrate the two.
Not integrate, just so they show up on the map. So the waymarks show up on the Cachly app.
You can export a GPX from Waymarkly and then import that into Cachly, and then that will show them on the map. And then when you view one and you tap on it and then go to the details screen, there's, instead of the log button, it just says like log in Waymarkly. And if you tap that, it'll open that in Waymarkly.
Oh, Nick,
yeah,
everything.
So you can like quickly flip to the other app and log it. So,
oh, Nick,
trying to help users out if they have both apps. Because I realized it would be a pain if you were like continually just flipping back and forth, So it helps automate it a little bit.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, there's a ton of categories, right? I mean, there's a
Yeah.
ton.
there's
Um,
thousands.
There's like
Yeah.
a ton. Yeah.
So like
Like,
anything you can think of,
back
like
to-
we were talking about before, benchmarking. Even though it's not like pulling from the benchmarking database that HQ has, people have submitted tons and tons of benchmarks to Waymarking, and so there's Waymarks for like tons of benchmarks, and you can visit those.
And before we get the call, let's just get it out now. Benchmarking app, because I know we're gonna get a call if we by 9:25. If we have not discussed this, we're gonna get a call.
Okay.
Benchmarking app. Someone's gonna want to know. Benchmarking.
I am not currently working on one. There's no benchmarking API. There's no Benchmarkly in development secretly.
Markley.
So I just don't think it's a big enough part of Geocaching HQ's like audience base for them to do anything with it, is my guess. So even though there's like some diehard people that are really into benchmarking, I don't think anything will
I
ever
think
happen.
there'd be more hardcore benchmarkers than hardcore waymarkers.
It seems like the waymarking or the Waymark site was just developed completely,
I mean, it hasn't been
rather
updated in
than-
forever. It's not responsive in any way. It's a very old school.
Yeah. Yeah, the framework of the website, but definitely Waymarks are being created all the time. So there's still an active community of people creating them. So
Hey guys, if anyone's created a waymark recently, give us a call 808-468-7924. I'm just curious to because I don't even know how to do it. Can you just go to the site and create one?
Yeah.
You don't need anything for it or anything like that. You just,
nope, and you just log in. I mean, it's the same authentication. You just log in with your geocaching username and
really?
password.
Hmm.
Yep, and you can just create one there. You have to choose your category, and there's a few more parameters than when you're creating a cache. And then the person who owns that category has to approve it. So it's a little different, like the owner of the category approving rather than like a community volunteer approving a cache.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's see.
Is there a proximity alert as well?
There is proximity alert.
Proximity alert.
Yeah, brought from Cashly. Other things like highlights, text templates. So those are in there as well. So you can highlight your waymarks. You can create text templates for. There's only two kind of log types. So there's visit, and then there's like a write note or a message. So really, you can only create like two different log type templates, but you can create any additional text templates that you want and then insert those into your logs manually. So just like Cashly. But
And you can save all this offline as well, right?
Yes.
It all can be saved offline.
Yep, all offline, and you can log offline and save pending logs just like Cashly, and then submit them later. So you can pretty much, with offline lists and premium offline maps, just like Cashly, you can be out, no cell signal, and be okay. So
LB says Benchmap is a great benchmarking app. Oh, so there is a benchmark. How is there a benchmarking app that there's no API? Did you say there's no API?
I think there was some that used a web interface from what I was.
Oh,
Yeah, from what I remember.
I think
But
that
they
was
didn't.
only on Android.
Yeah, and it might be screen scraping, kind of like CGO, but definitely, I don't think anybody else was using the API.
okay. Casey11
Unless
says
it's brand new.
Casey11 says, can waymarks be placed next to each other or on top of each other, or is there a minimum distance like geocaching's 528 feet?
There is no minimum distance. There is waymarks on top of each other. Yeah, I've seen it, which has actually been something that users have brought up. They said, when they go to a place, they don't realize that things are on top of each other, and if you tap a couple times, then it will kind of cycle through
Yes.
the ones that you tap. So I need to create a way where it'll say either expand out, or it'll give an indication that there's a couple there.
Swipe or something.
Yeah, something. I need to think of a better interface. So
Just so you know, there's an app for everything.
there is.
What does that mean?
Here is an app to find toilets around you.
Oh,
Wait,
Here
wait.
is,
awkward.
here is an app to find benches around you. You need to take a break?
That's
Let
a
me
benchmark
find
app
the
right there.
nearest bench.
A bench? Really?
Yes, actually, there's two. Here's a map of public benches, and then here's another one. Find benches to sit.
I really hope those are free.
Does the toilet ones? I think George Costanza had that idea. Do they have like? Does it rate how well the toilets are? Like a 1 through 5? Like you want to use this toilet if you're out. It's a great toilet.
Yeah, didn't George only use his own toilet or something like that? Or he had a private
Oh,
bathroom
yes.
put into his office or something?
Yeah, but he knew. No, he faked it. He faked a handicap.
Oh, his disability. Yeah.
But he knew
So
all the good
bad.
toilets in the city. He knew where to go.
No.
He had to go. Sorry, rabbit hole. So waymarking,
Yes.
benchmarking, nothing.
No.
Do you have anything else coming through right now?
I don't have anything else coming through. I can't handle much more development and
Are
support.
you still on your own? Are you still by yourself, or have you brought in a couple guys?
No, I don't have anybody else. I mean, I still have a full-time job that I gotta handle, and I have a wonderful family that takes
likes
the priority of my time. So
likes to see you occasionally. Likes to see you. Yeah.
yes, yeah. No, I don't have any other apps in the works.
So were you benchmarking before? I'm sorry. Excuse me. Were you waymarking before this benchmark? I got benchmarking.
No. So I just like the idea of working on something new and seeing if it could become popular. And I think HQ kind of thinks the same thing. So, hey, if it works out and a lot of people jump on that game, it'd be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, I think it's really interesting that you chose that you said, yeah, I'll make a waymarking. Just because it seems like it seemed like it wasn't getting updated at all. And I guess there is a community. It's I'm not a part of it, nor do I know anybody. Jesse, do you know anybody who waymarks, or Chad? Know anybody who does?
I know a few people that do it on occasion. I don't think they do it like seriously. So, but yeah, I know a few cachers that do it occasionally. So.
Yeah, the website was definitely holding people back because it wasn't mobile friendly. People couldn't. I mean, it was almost like the old days before mobile apps. You had to print out something or type it into Google Maps a coordinate because there wasn't really a way to easily load stuff and navigate to it on your phone. So I think that was the big bottleneck for people.
But if people like with categories, if they're like, I was looking at brew pubs, for example. So if they want to go and check out all the brew pubs in the area, that kind of thing, they can pull it up on there if it's in there, of course, or they can even add them in there if they want to. But then you can go and relate your experience. There's a app which I haven't used in quite a while now that is kind of similar for beer specifically, and basically you're when you go out and you're trying a new beer and kind of thing, and you rate it, you comment about it, and you share it with all your drinking buddies remotely.
So it's the same kind of thing where you can leave comments, tell people that you visited a place, and then hopefully get other people to do the same. And it's just a cool way to explore and kind of find places around you or places when you're out geocaching. You can go find waymarks as well.
Wheels wants to know, I realize it's a different application, but are waymarks trackable by Project GC, and can geocaching challenges for waymarks be created?
I don't think they're trackable by Project GC, and I have heard that there's some old challenge caches that require you to find waymarks, but I think that's like against some rules now. But there's some grandfathered ones in, I've been told.
Here's a good question for you. When developing this new app, did you learn anything to help you enhance the Cachly app?
Oh boy. Probably not.
This was
more like the other way around. Learn lots of things when developing Cachly that gave me insight and helped to build another app like quicker and know how to do the things I wanted to do.
Did you this was before 7.0, right? Or were you working at 7.0 when this came out?
boy, I'm trying to remember what the release date was for Waymarkly. No, I don't think I was working on them at the same time. So there was a period of time when I really hunkered down and worked on Waymarkly for like 2 months straight, and I had already developed quite a bit of it, but then I tried to nail out the rest of the features and get it released, and I didn't work on Cachly hardly at all for a period of time. I think that was last year. But no, they didn't really overlap. But now that they're both released, there's support questions and manage the social media stuff. So there's a lot of overlap. But if there's like a critical bug fix in Cachly and then that code is also in Waymarkly, I'll make sure to push those fixes into Waymarkly and then release, updates. So.
Oh, the frustration of that. We're like, oh, come on.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to develop even more apps, because then you have just more things on your plate, too many working pieces and it gets overwhelming.
What is this? I've done some of those old challenges, waymarking bingo. Oh, there's a waymarking bingo. Jesse, somebody punch this up. GC3 D as in dog, H as in Harry, P as in Paul, J as in Jan.
Jan?
Jan. I don't know. I'm not in the army. I don't know.
All right. Waymarking double bingo challenge, 10 in a row. To qualify for logging this cache, you will need to have at least one double bingo, 10 or more categories in a row of Waymark visits and or posts. Your bingo can be vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. The category grid can be found under your profile tab at waymarking.com.
Oh, so that's like, okay.
Yeah. So just like with Cachly, of course, there's all kinds of statistics and whatnot in your profile on Waymarking. And so there's category grids, based on
huge grids, because there's tons of categories.
Right. Huge grids. And then statistics, milestones, you name
That's
it.
an old challenge. Wow. That would not be allowed today. Really? Yeah. That's
right.
Yeah. No, it definitely wouldn't today.
Oh.
I don't think there is a way to determine or to look up a Waymark cache type in with the API that is used by Project GC. I haven't seen anything in there for waymarking, at least. So, not that I specifically looked for it, but.
Can you imagine a COVID cacher trying to figure out that challenge? Like, what the heck are you talking about?
What is that?
What is that?
Yeah. So there's features on the Waymarking website that are not on the app, such as scavenger hunts and groups and things like that. Is that just not possible because of the way the API works? Or
and yes, for sure. And I think maybe HQ determined that some of those things aren't very popular. They're not really like the main part of the game. So maybe diehard waymarkers are interested in those things, but I don't think that it's something that we'll bring to the app or that I would even ask HQ to, add to the API.
And do you know, having, obviously working with HQ on all of this, do you know if they have plans to sort of update the whole waymarking concept? And the reason that I'm asking is because I've noticed in trying to find waymarks that a lot of them don't even exist anymore. It's restaurants from 2005 that have been out of business a long time ago. Nobody other than whoever created that waymark can go in and delete that or flag it in any sort of way or, maintain it. So, do you think at some point in the future there would be plans to have like a reviewer or some sort of cleanup or something along those lines?
I haven't had that conversation, but I am happy to ask them that. The people that own the categories, they should be able to. I don't know that for sure, but I would think that they would have access to editing or maybe archiving and waymarks, but I'm not sure. But you're right. There could be some clutter that people need to remove.
And who owns those categories, though? I mean, if those categories were created 15 years ago by somebody who's not active in this anymore, you wouldn't be able to either add new waymarks to those categories if they're the person who has to approve it, and you wouldn't be able to, clean house, so to speak, either. It's just sort of stagnant.
I think that from what I know is that the categories will be given to somebody else if somebody wasn't interested in, and if somebody just like left, that would then be again given to somebody else. There's people that are very much into waymarking and they probably are the owners of tons and tons of categories. So somebody is in charge of all the categories. I know that for sure. So it's not just, there's not probably thousands of people in charge of the thousands of categories. Again, there's probably, less people than that in charge of lots of different categories. So, but
sense.
definitely a cleanup would be warranted.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Is it that Jesse? Have you noticed? Is it that bad up there? Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, there have been several times that I've opened the app and been like, oh, let's see what Waymark's around here. That restaurant is no longer that restaurant. It's now something else. Or that building was demolished a couple of years ago. Or, there have been quite a few that I've looked at. In fact, I was visiting my dad over the summer, and he lives in a small town in West Virginia. And so I opened the app and I noticed two things. One, the same, like 2 or 3 buildings were listed a couple of different times. So I took a picture of, I literally submitted the same picture for 2 different Waymarks because it was listed twice by the same person a few years apart.
Was it in a different category? Because I've definitely seen the same thing, exactly the same in different categories, and that's allowed.
Possibly. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the category. That's possible. But I did notice like the years. One was submitted in like, 2009 and another one was like 2014 or something. But it was the same building and it was the same person. I didn't check categories. But then there were also others in the town that I know for sure are no longer there. There were a couple of old like historic buildings that have been demolished in the past few years. So those are no longer there.
Yeah, I think that there was some Waymarkly users on our Facebook group that said there needs to be a new log type where it can flag, kind of like geocaching has needs maintenance, and so that you can flag those, and then somehow it does a database. We'll send an email or maybe let HQ know that they need to take a look at these and possibly archive them. So I think there needs to be an additional process that hasn't been done, but it's something that I will definitely ask HQ about.
Somebody says in the chat room, Waymarking has something called scavenger hunts. Are they supported by Waymarkly?
Not currently, and I honestly don't know much about the scavenger hunt portion of it. So
they seem to be like a collection of individual Waymarks. So for us, for example, there's one that's surrounded around a big mall here in our area. And so it's a few different stores within the mall, and then it's like a few other businesses and a park outside the mall. And so I think the premise is to like race to be the first one to get all of them, or, so it's like a game within a game, I guess. But that particular one that I was just looking at has been out since like 2011, and I was the 3rd person to sign up for it. So
you got it? Which one is it?
No. I like you join it and say, yeah, I'm going to participate in this scavenger hunt. So
You're
I joined it.
person?
I was the 3rd person.
yeah, and I wonder if some of these things were like just really big ideas and they got created, and then maybe nobody had wanted to do them, or it didn't pick up many users. Sure. I'm not sure.
Right. It's same thing with the groups. It seems like there's a group that was created to help people find little league baseball fields. Mm-hmm. But there were only a handful that were added to it.
Yeah.
It seems like something that's it's its own game in itself. You just go and you take a picture and you log it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could. Again, this is the same thing where you have to have a geocaching account, right? Don't you? Can you create it?
It's linked. It's linked.
Yeah, it's the same account.
The same.
Yep.
Just like with adventures, it's all the same.
Yep.
Casey Levin says, would it be wrong to log waymarks that I visited in the past without realizing it was a waymark? I just logged in and noticed I have selfies at several of waymarks near me.
I don't think that would be wrong. And it's actually allowed to log waymarks multiple times. I don't know if that's, and I actually don't think that's even frowned upon, which seems kind of strange to me. Yeah. I've seen people do it lots of times and people talk about doing it. And I think it's like if you go on a trip to a historical landmark, you log it once, you visit it because you really did. You go on a trip 2 years later, you visit it again because you were really there. And that's the concept is like, hey, I'm here again. So I'm going to log a visit again because I visited it a second time.
Boy,
So,
I visit that bar all the time.
yeah, you get a little, get a little crazy.
Every night you got a drink in your hand. Hey.
Adding to my find count.
Yep.
Interesting. So,
Yeah.
so it's okay. It's encouraged to log it more than once.
I don't want to say that. Don't quote me on that. But I've definitely seen it happen, and I understand the reasoning kind of if you're going to go back and visit something, not to just inflate your visit count, but if you really visited a place, a couple times, I guess. It's hard if we're used to geocaching and we have that concept in our head of just like logging it one time. But if it's a completely different game and you really visit that place multiple times, I guess there's, they can do that. So.
Interesting. So, Jesse, are there a ton of games within the game in Waymarkly? I'm sorry, in Waymarking.
In Waymarking.
I apologize.
The website, like Jesse said, the website has just gobs of features,
right?
That I can't support. It's just I think it's almost kind of bloated with features, and it just needs to be kind of stripped down just to exploring and searching for waymarks.
Which is what your app is, just explore.
Yeah, which is what
just
what
log,
the app is.
just checking, kind of like Cashly.
Yep.
You log in, you hit
Yeah.
the button, you see what's around you, you go to it.
Yeah.
It tells you exactly what you need to do. You do it, you log it, you're done.
Yep. And just like Cashly, you can turn on live filtering and filter out ones you've visited before, and you can filter out your hides, if you don't want to see those, and so there is those kind of options.
Oh, nice.
But definitely it's not like Cashly and the geocaching API where there's just a huge list of live filters where you can do, crazy kind of filtering. I think there's only 4 filter options for waymarking, but that's fine.
Building this, did you come across anything that was extremely difficult or challenging? Like it just didn't work. Like, hey, this works simple on Cashly, but it just doesn't work for this. So you had to completely rewrite something or figure something out for it to work.
Not necessarily like that I had to rethink. It was hard because the API, I was the first one using it. So I would run into a lot of issues that were either bugs or it didn't work the way that I expected it to, or it really needed an additional feature added to the API to make it really function how it needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of reports and requests that I put in, and HQ was awesome. They, almost every single feature request I put in, they would fix the API and make it work how I was needing it to. Not just for my own app, but kind of an idea to work for the greater, developer community if other people are going to develop using the API. So, it was a good experience, and in the end, I think the API works really well, and most of the bugs were all ironed out. So,
I love how they promote you on the website too. That's very nice.
Yes, that's something that I appreciate. So I think it's almost on every page, which is great. So, and I think
it's the only app, right? So they don't even have it, right? But they're if Nick's going to do them, we're not going to do it. They
and I think they also mentioned it in one of their HQ newsletters, which was nice.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Yep. So
did they have no plans to do one? Do you know, or you can say I can't say, or you don't?
I think that currently we're kind of partnering with this essentially. So I don't think that they have plans to create one of their own. So they're helping promote mine.
Right, but you went to them, right? They come to you, or did you go to them for this?
I went to them about it.
Okay.
So I think they see benefit in getting people to play this game that has kind of been more stagnant over the last few years.
Right.
So
Tyrone Shoelaces wants to know how about a filter option to only show waymarks in categories not found?
Yeah, that's a good one. Let me write that down.
Oh, there you go, Tyrone. I love what he says. Let me write that down.
Yeah, he said earlier his goal is to find one in every category. At
I mean,
least
currently one of the filter options is to show only waymarks in a specific category, which is kind of nice. But I agree that would be kind of cool to, to do that. Okay.
To filter and the filter you haven't found. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can turn all of your. Oh, I guess it's not categories. Okay, you're talking about categories specifically and only showing categories where you don't have a find. Okay, that's not currently possible, but yeah, I wrote it down.
So look for that in the future version.
Yeah.
And for the record, he does, because I've done this. I've gone through this process with Nick, and he has brought my stuff into the app. So he does.
It's true. I really did write it down. I wasn't just like pretending to type on my keyboard.
It really does. That does show up. So don't be surprised if sooner or later it shows up.
I will try.
Tyrone knew it, but yeah, well done. So well done, Tyrone. Good job, buddy. Chad, any questions? You've been quiet tonight. I know you're an Android user, but
yeah, well, it's not that specifically that I'm an Android user. It's just I haven't done much waymarking, so I'm not sure.
I don't think a lot of people have. It's
No.
Right.
a new thing for a lot of people.
Right.
I
looked on profile and I've officially logged one.
I logged
Oh,
one before
from our 15 icon day.
Yeah, and I noted it, but I didn't log it.
You have two. You have to log it.
Well, I think
So-
I only have like 8. So
Wow.
No,
a lot of the stuff gets done on like the development server. So
But I was looking at, it's like, okay, this would be a cool Waymarkly and Waymark, pardon me. And so I went and looked. It's like, yep, there's one there, and some others, and there's some. Nope, it's not there. But
Right.
it's like, is it eking me out to go do it? I don't get a smiley. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's almost like a waste of time, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a waste.
Gotta
of
get
time,
that smiley.
right? It gets the serotonin.
Mhm.
And Nick needs to add smileys into Waymarkly. That's
He did. There's smileys.
There's smileys for your finds or for
Yeah,
your
there's
visits.
smiley
Yeah.
to it. You just don't
Okay.
get it.
Yeah.
You just don't get it. It doesn't. Your geocaching
It's
finds.
the same ones as are on Cashly. You should be excited.
Nick, is there a Christmas one though?
Boy, I would have to look at the code. I honestly don't remember. if I use some of the code from Cashly, it probably is in there.
Still the greatest thing you've ever.
I'm
you've
pretty
ever
sure.
built
I'm pretty sure it's probably still in there.
was that every Christmas day. I'm like, oh look, they got Santa hats. That's adorable. I love it.
Yeah. You can just change your date on your phone and it will do it, right?
No, I love.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's only
It's
on
a secret way to hack it.
No, you can't do that. No,
Yes, you can.
No.
It'll really screw up the rest of your phone, so don't try.
Yeah, right.
But you can do it.
And yet you never even like went full throttle on it, like St. Patrick's Day and all those holidays. You didn't add hats to. It was only Christmas.
Bunny ears on Easter.
Yeah, bunny ears on Easter.
Yeah.
Something.
Get a
Pumpkin
little
faces,
ridiculous.
jack-o'-lanterns.
Why do you not have
Halloween.
jack-o'-lanterns on Halloween? Come on, Nick. This is
That'd
like
probably be the easiest one.
Yes.
these are all no-brainers. Come on.
Yeah. Well, maybe in the future.
There you go. Write that down.
Yep.
Okay.
So I have a quick
think-
funny story. My introduction to Waymarks back in 2014, I didn't even know what Waymarks was, and I had been working on a puzzle. I was trying to solve this puzzle, and the only one person had found it prior to me, and it was like 2 years prior. And so it was like the closest puzzle to my house. It was driving me crazy. I had to work on it, and I knew that it was now I can't remember. I knew that it was like Morse code or something. I don't know, whatever code it was. I knew that's what it was. And I kept coming up with like these random numbers and letters that meant nothing to me. I'm like, what the heck is this? I could not for the life of me figure it out. And finally I realized it was the code to a waymark. It was WM something, something, something. So then I had to go to that actual Waymark page and get some information and use that to solve the puzzle for the
Really?
final.
That's
That was
cool.
my introduction to Waymarks. And so I
Awesome.
was like, oh, what is this? So of course, I logged the cache and I logged the Waymark because the final was hidden at the Waymark. So
Nice.
that was really cool.
That's cool. It's cool to have that kind of integration, but I don't know how many of those are out there.
Yeah.
I don't think that many. Can you even? Would they even allow that now? Would they allow
Well,
you to do that?
Yeah, you can solve a puzzle. It was a puzzle. I mean, it wasn't a challenge or anything like that. It was just a puzzle that took you to a waymark, and then you had to get some information from there and use that to solve it. So
How come you never come out with a puzzle since then, Jess? Come on. You can
I
make
am
that,
not
you can make that,
creative.
you can make that better. Better.
I am just not that creative. I like to solve other people's puzzles.
Yeah, she likes to solve. She's like that. Chad, anything else, sir?
Not from me.
No. Sorry, there was something in the. Oh, somebody was talking about like hopefully the GeoGo guy will create a way to go app for Android. So Chad, you get that?
Yeah, maybe he will. Maybe he'll see the value in it.
I'm refraining from commenting. So
it was maybe he will see the value in it. Yeah.
So are you still working on this, or is it just strictly updates now? Are you looking? Because I know how you like to Cashly, you are one-upping yourself with Cashly, and adding features. What about this? Is this pretty much okay? This is what it is. I'm gonna, if a bug needs to be fixed, I'll fix it. But this is kind of like this is what it is. Or are you looking to improve on this app? Is it getting hits? Is it getting downloads? First of all, maybe
it's definitely getting downloads. For now, I mean, it's not like the push like I have for Cashly to like always create new features that are like, really cool. There's not as many users on Waymarkly. So once I get a user base and there's, feature requests and there's more of a community and people are doing it more, then I can definitely see creating some more features that maybe are not ones that Cashly has that are maybe unique to that app. But yeah, definitely I'm still developing it, but I'm working on Cashly way more than obviously I'm working on Waymarkly. Right. But again, if there's issues with the shared code base, I will release updates to Waymarkly and fix things and stuff. So
how long has Waymarkly been out for?
I should have written that down. I thought it was at this. I don't know. 4 months, something like that.
Okay. How many updates has it got?
It's on 1.0.2, so just like 2 updates. Yeah.
Okay, so nothing super critical then.
Yeah, there wasn't any really bad bugs or anything like that, and there haven't been any new features like to the API or anything that I can release.
Yeah, and listeners, it's a great if you are a Cashly user and you've never Waymarked before, download the app. The app is $4.99. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick.
Yes.
Yep. Cheap, trust me. And you're helping Nick out, who's an awesome guy and an awesome developer and a Cashly developer, and I happily give Nick my money. And give it a shot. And it's and since you already know Cashly, it's an awesome introduction to Waymarking because it's this UI that you already know. You're so used to it, and it's easy to use, and everything's in the same place, and it's great. So it's really nice. So if you have not used Waymarkly, give it a download. Pay poor Nick $5 and give it a download. and it's fun. It is. Now that I have the app, I didn't have the app. Like I say, I downloaded it like 4 days ago. Jesse's had it for a while. I downloaded.
Oh yeah, I got it when it first came out.
Yeah, I got it like a couple days ago. And I actually had one Waymark. Now I have more because I got some at Midwest. But I only had one just to see what it was back in like 2008. I had one just to be like, what is this? But it is, it's right next to my Cashly app now. So I will probably open it up at the same time. Yeah. And start chugging along with those too. Why not? Now now me and Jesse are going to get crazy with the categories and trying to fill those. I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. So that's Waymarkly. Chad or Jesse, anything else with Waymarkly?
No, I mean, I think people should go out and try it. It's just one more, we have virtual caches and we have adventures and we have waymarks and benchmarks, it's just one more thing to go out and hunt.
Yeah. And it is fun and it is pretty cool. I mean,
it can take you to places you never knew were there. You'll find your new favorite brew pub.
That's right.
Here's a quick example of what the interface looks like, guys. This is around my area. Sorry, I'm trying to like get a good. There you go. So
There
it's
you
like
go.
little icons of places.
Yeah, category icons.
Category icons. Yeah, so you can see there's a McDonald's right there. Yeah, Milwaukee Avenue McDonald's. There you go.
And people should start
Nice.
creating their own and see who can be the millionth, because there are currently 992,836
Really?
approaching.
I'm gonna
1
put one
million.
out. I've never put one out before. I'm gonna put one out. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
You should.
put one out. I am. I really am.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I have one in my local little town. There was an old historical church, and so I created a waymark for that didn't have one.
Sweet.
So
Yeah, I have an idea for one. Jesse, I'm gonna put one at whatchamacallit, the farm.
Okay.
Down the street. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one there. That'd be
Okay.
fun.
Mhm.
Over Didier. I
Yep.
don't think there's one there. I'm assuming there's not one there.
I
Put
don't
one there.
see one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one there. So, all right, Nick.
yes,
Always a pleasure, buddy, to have you on the show. I'm a huge fan of yours. You know that.
thank you.
Huge
Thank
fan.
you for having me.
And stick around, because if you are patrons,
Okay.
you're not getting the live patrons, but Nick is gonna come back on the show. We're gonna talk about Cashly 7.0, and then I'm gonna upload that audio to Patreon either tonight or tomorrow, so you guys will have that to listen to. So we will have a Patreon only Cashly 7.0 show with Nick. So Nick, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you so much, buddy. Well done.
Thank you.
On the Waymarkly. Jesse, thank you. Chad, thank you. Everybody in the chat room, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Chad,
Yes, sir.
quiet Chad, my little chatty, or not chatty Chad. Next week, Chad.
What we got going next week?
Next week, it's coming back. Chad's coming back.
One up me.
The One Up Me contest coming back, guys. One Up Me. Here we go, Chad. One Up Me. The topic for next week, Chad. You know, every year we have a best the summer 2020 the summer caching story. Okay, we have a show about your summer caching stories. This year it's a contest. This year is the One Up Me contest.
Ooh.
Best summer 2021 caching story. Whoever's got the best story gets the coin this year, or gets the path tag. That's what's next week's show. One Up Me contest, best summer 2021 caching story. That's next week, Chad. Jess,
Awesome.
you're gonna be here to take these phone calls? You're gonna make us
I
struggle.
don't know. I gotta check the calendar.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
come on, Jess. All
Let
right,
me
guys.
see. Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday,
Yeah, I don't know. It's a maybe.
Jesse will be here a little late.
A definite maybe.
We'll deal
It's
with
a
the phone.
definite maybe.
We'll deal with the
I
phone
wasn't supposed
calls.
to be here tonight, but I was. So.
We'll deal with the phone calls until Jesse gets back, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's got a summer cashing story. Let's hear yours. Let's see who's got some good ones, because I got some good ones. We've had a really good summer.
Oh, we've got great stories.
So there you go, guys. That's next week's show. One Up Me contest, kids. So practical geocaching. Get your prizes ready, kid, because we're gonna have a lot of calls next week. Nick, always a pleasure, sir. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Let's close the show. Please join us again every Wednesday night, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, as we stream live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on our website, geocachingpodcast.com. The archived video versions of our podcast are available on our website or on our YouTube channel, and the audio version is available on your favorite podcatcher. If you like the show, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and it really helps the show when you do. If you prefer to watch the show, make sure you click the subscribe or get notified buttons to know exactly when we go live. And hey, if you haven't already, please consider becoming a patron of our show. With tiers starting as low as $3, you'll get a ton of additional information, extra audio, extra video, only available to our patron members. Please head on over to patreon.com today and subscribe. That's patreon.com/the Geocaching Podcast. Thanks once again to our sponsors, Cashly, Logwork, FTF Geocacher Magazine, the Max Sense Body Company, Practical Geocaching, Arted Crafted, and PathTags.com. Please visit our sponsors, and when you make a purchase, you tell them the GCPC sent you. That's all we got this week. We'll see you next week, talking geocaching, taking your phone calls. In the meantime, be good, be safe, hug your loved ones. We will talk to you guys next week. We are clear.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Hold on, we're still live. Guys, thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week. Be well, be safe. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.